Okay. Z Karan.
Z underscore
Okay.
Karun.
KARAN.
RUN underscore billing document.
Billing item.
Billing item. Yeah.
How is the system now? It's fast.
Yeah, I think it's Meta. Yeah.
Last week, people were complaining that it was slow. So, okay. So here you're struggling how to fit this
Correct.
description into the same output. Okay. Anyone else who's struggling with the same part? Anyone else who could complete it successfully or could not figure out how to do this assignment? Zahid?
Yeah, hi Kiran.
Yeah.
Actually, I selected another select statement to show the unit of measure, but it's showing the different value instead of proper name. It's showing some character. So I made selection of a single. Even the single, it's giving a different object. But if I try to display the same value, it's showing the PC. While replacing, it's showing different character.
Are you selecting based on language also? Because this table has a language restriction.
Yeah, I did that one also.
So in T006, you are comparing both the unit of measure and the language.
Yes.
Okay, then I need to check your program. What is your program name?
Z Ahmed underscore July assignment 1.
It's AHMED assignment 1.
Yeah. Underscore July underscore assignment 1.
No, this is not the way to do it. When you say select, okay, this select and this and select single. Did you keep a breakpoint and see what's happening? There is actually an inactive version. Can you come out of the program once?
Okay. Yeah, I need.
Can you tell me the document number? We were using 900.
900
Okay.
31400.
MSCHT. So it's picking up a different language, or you're fetching the wrong field, basically.
Okay.
I'll just show you.
Uploaded the language, thereafter I moved.
So Karnakar, you got an idea how to do it?
Yeah, actually I use another select option, but still it was giving me some kind of error, like that field cannot be used.
Sorry.
Some syntax error it was showing.
MSCHI. You need to compare HI and Spras.
Language English.
Sign language is the system field which will have the logon language. So whichever language the user logs in, we are showing that. MSCHT, no problem. Okay, now it's fetching pieces. Okay. So in this table you need to restrict your selection by language also, because the same descriptions are maintained in different languages. So we need to fetch in English language.
Okay.
So Karnakar, for your program, all you need to do is write this select within this select and select loop. So in every time
Oh,
it
okay,
will
okay.
get a record from the VBRP table. So for that record, compare the unit of measure. So instead of writing it here, basically you write it here, and since you need to select only a single record, for every record you're getting, you say select single.
Select single. Okay.
Into this spas equals to E, compare the internal format, and this equals to this. And here instead of printing VRKME, you print
We print T0660MSH. Okay. I think the right one is there and below.
so this is how you do it.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Yeah, maybe I should not use it separately. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like how it goes and fit in the same line. Okay.
And now you're writing the select wrong. Spas equals to E, MSC HI, and the order of your selection and the order in which you compare your fields should be as per the table. Okay, it's spas first and this here in this table, right? So now it should print pieces also. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Leonard?
Hi, Kieran. I actually did my second query, the select single query, like you just showed, and I still wasn't getting any result.
Sorry, I didn't understand. Can you repeat?
Sure. That select single query within the select and select query, I did the way you were just showing, and I still didn't get any result coming back from the T0068 table.
Can you tell me your program name?
Sure. It's Z underscore Kazakowicz. So that's K-O-Z like zebra, A-K-I-E-W.
Is this the one? First program?
Yes, the first assignment, yeah. That's it.
You need to, you're anyway getting this VRKME from VBRP table, right, in this select. So you don't need to write the select again because it's the same table. So select single MSCHL from T into MS into, where have you defined MSCHL? Okay, here you have defined where spas equals to this and HI equals to, you need to say WAVBRP. And use the uppercase.
Oh, excuse me, maybe that's what the problem was.
So again, simply keep a breakpoint when you don't get the data and execute. Let's see HL. So with this select, the first select, I am getting all the fields from VBRP. So one of them is VRKMA. So we are simply comparing that to write a select to T006A, and we are getting the description. Right?
I guess maybe it was just because I didn't capitalize the E.
Yeah. And field also,
Okay,
you are comparing the wrong field. You were saying equals to VRKME. Okay. You are getting it.
I thought possibly.
Anyway, earlier you are writing one more select.
Structure.
Yeah. So you don't need this extra select here. The first select itself, you're getting that field anyway into the work area, so you can directly use that to compare.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. And if you're hard coding any values, character fields are case sensitive. So in the table, if you see it is uppercase E, capital E, then you need to compare capital E. They are case sensitive. So
Okay.
lowercase is different from uppercase. Okay. And one more thing you need to remember, when you write these select queries or anything, always try to write select to one table only once. Don't write more than one select to the same table. So if you want to fetch certain fields data from a table, then in one select you get all that data. Don't write more than one select to the same table.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Nazia?
Sir, I couldn't see the screen actually. Only hear your voice.
Can you see it now?
Hello?
Can you see my screen now?
It seems as
You have a pretty slow internet connection, I believe, because your voice is also breaking up.
very. It's actually my program.
Okay. You have any issue with your program, or you just want me to see?
It's actually in the first item should come no back. But for those.
Nazia, your voice is breaking. Can you type your question? I'll come back to you. Chakravarti?
Hey Kiran, my program is working fine. I just want to make sure whether I've followed a best practice or is there any other alternative other than what I've done.
Right now, the code that you see, this is what I was expecting you to do. But again, don't worry about the best way of doing it. Right now, if you can get me the output, that's sufficient. Because even
I'm getting the output.
this is not the ideal way to do it. So as we move on, you yourself will understand what is the ideal way. But right now, if you're getting me the output the way I want it, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm getting the output.
Okay, no problem. Janakiram, I'll check your program later and I'll leave my comments. Fine then. So everyone is comfortable with the basic part of selecting the data into your program and then printing in the output. So working with your structures, variables, writing the basic select statement, select single, select and select. Okay. Anyone here who's still struggling with that? Again, there are people who need to take the test yet. Please do that. So if you don't understand anything, feel free to ask me. Don't keep quiet. And if you feel shy in asking in the class, if you feel your questions are too silly to ask in the class, you can also give me a call to discuss. But don't just keep quiet if you don't understand something. So today we'll work on this a bit more. I'll just show you how to add more than one table, and we'll try to understand the problems with that. Writing the code this way using select and selects and all this stuff. Then I'll explain you something called internal tables. Okay. Prashant?
Hey Kiran, can you hide your GoToMeeting screen panel?
Hide my screen?
Yeah, minimize or whatever.
Give me a second.
It's kind of occupying the screen space.
You shouldn't be able to see that screen actually. Is it fine now?
No, that red arrow, the red arrow, yeah. Yeah, that's good, thanks.
But you shouldn't be seeing this screen. Let me see.
We are able to see it, I don't know.
Okay. Because this Windows 8, so I'm not too sure. Fine. Anyways. So Let me mute. But hiding this makes me uncomfortable. Okay. So I'll just explain you how to write, even though most of you could figure it out how to write, but those who are still struggling how to process data from multiple tables, let me explain you how to do it. So we'll do it differently. We'll do it with a different requirement. For this program, my requirement is I'll input the material number. For that material number, you need to print the description of that material, the plant details of that material, where all this material is used, in which plants. And when you print that plant details, for example, material descriptions are available in this MAKT table. So based on the material number, if I query this MAKT table, I'll get the description for the material. Then plant related information is available in MARC table. So if I query this MARC table with the same plant number, then I'll get the, with the material number, then I'll get the plant number. So this works is the plant field and the data element is works underscore D. Okay. So if I, for example, if I want to look for this 100 material, then this is the works field. So these are all the plants this material is used. Okay, this is the plant data for the material. But here in this table, they are maintaining the plant numbers. So it's like 1000 plant, 1100 plant. But looking at the plant number, I cannot understand which plant it is. Is it a Bangalore plant, a Delhi plant, some plant in US? So we need to print the descriptions for these plants also. The plant descriptions you can get from T001W table. Okay. In this table, they are maintaining the descriptions for the plant. So works, plant we have, and name one will be the description field. So if I check in this table, for example, here the plant is 1000. So if I look for 1000 plant in this table, then this is the description for that plant. Okay. So my requirement is I'll give you I'll give you a material number. For that material number, you need to print the description of the plant, the description of the material number, the plant number, and the plant description. So anyone would like to help me with this requirement, what we should be doing first? The tables will be using for this requirement is MAKT table will give me material descriptions, MARC table will give me the plant details, and T001W table will give me the descriptions for the plant. Okay. So if you want to build a relationship between these tables, first simply open those tables. MAKT table, you already know, has material number, MATNR, and MAKTX is your description, right? So in MAKT table, you have these two fields, material number, and the descriptions are available in MAKTX field. In MARC table, we have material number and works is the field which has the plant number in MARC. And in T001W, we have works and name one. Okay. So these two tables are related with the material number. Right, so I can query these tables using the material number. That would be my input field. But T001W table does not have the material number, but it has works. So these two, MARC and T001W table, are related by this works field. Right? So now anyone would like to help me in completing this program? What's the first thing we should do? Nazia, I'll check your program in a while. Vijeta?
Yes, Kiran. We can select, first of all, we can select material, what is that field name from MAKTX from table. If you want to write when I'm speaking, I mean, what I see is we can select MAKTX from MAKT and MARC table, I mean, first table, using the user input MATNR. And then we can write a select. Maybe I'll not be able to explain when I'm speaking. You can go
Fine. What I'm looking at is, what is the first thing that you do? This is what you need to process. The data that you want to process is available in these 3 tables, right? And you also know what is the input. So now you got an idea which tables you need to select, which data, right? That part is clear. So what do you do in the program? First, what do I need to do?
First, we declare the variables and the work areas, and this is structures.
Just to revise what we discussed last week and to help others who are still confused with why do we do these data declarations, can you tell me why do we need to declare this stuff first?
We declare a structure just to combine all the data together, like if we are getting a row from a table. So we define a structure of that table type, and I mean with all the fields which.
So why do we need data declarations in the first place in the program? Why can't I simply process the data that is there in the table? Why do we need to do these data declarations?
Because we need to tell the server that this memory location or this variable will hold the values, and we change the values during our program. So we need a data declaration to tell the computer that okay, this memory is reserved for this type of data.
Okay. Basically, your above programs can work with data that is locally available. So before you can process anything, we first bring that data to our program from the database. And for you to bring that data and store it in your program, you need to define a memory where you can store it. So that's what we do with data declarations. Great. So when you're working with the structures, you can directly create a structure by saying begin of and end of. But ideally, a good practice is first you define the structure using types keyword. Okay. So I'll say types begin of, and types declarations, we name them ty underscore. So I'll say ty underscore MAKT, the first table. So what all fields you want me to define in this structure from MAKT? MAKT table has, let me open the table for you.
We need 2 things. So one is number and the other one, there are just 2 fields which we need.
MAKT, I'll open that. So MATNR, MATNR is the field which has the material number, and MAKTX has your description. Right? So we just need these 2 fields. But ideally, even if you don't need, we should always select the key fields first. Always try to include the key fields in your structure and then list all the other fields that you want. Even if you don't need, for example, in this case, you don't need SPRAS, but still since it is a key field in the table, let's include SPRAS also. Okay. Even when you write a select, always include the key fields and then list your other fields. So I'll define this MATNR. So I'm including SPRAS just because it's a key field, and then I'll include this extra field MAKTX, and the data element is also MAKTX. So this defines my MAKT structure. Then what is the other table we are trying to process? MARC. So in this, which fields you want me to select? This is your MARC. Vijita, you're with me?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm not able to find the fields.
On the top, these are field names.
Okay, yeah, works and MATNR. And what is the key field other than this? I don't know in this table.
You can see the key fields are in a different color.
Okay.
These are in different color.
So MATNR and works.
So I'll go back to the table field view. So here you can see MATNR and works are your key fields in this table, and we need works also, right? So I'll simply define MATNR and works type. The data element is works underscore D for this works field. So I'll define my field referring to that data element. End of ty underscore marc. And what's the other table we are trying to process? Types begin of ty underscore t001w. And in this table, what are my fields?
Works and the other one for description.
Works and
Plant.
name one. So here works is the only key field, right? So I'll say works type works underscore D name one. The data element is also name one. Sorry. Type name one. End of ty underscore t001w. So this completes my structure declarations, data types. Then I'll use data and I'll define my work areas. Right now it may not make much sense to you, but when we talk about internal tables, then you'll understand why I'm doing these types declarations first and then data declarations. So we'll say WAMAKT type TYMAKT, WAMARC type TY underscore MARC, and WAT001W type TY underscore T001W. So this completes my data declarations. I'll create one input field for material number. So what do I do next, Vijita? Or anyone else would like to
Now
answer? No one else is interested? Fine, Vijita, please go ahead.
okay, we've got the input parameter and we've got the data. Now we can write the select query.
So which table I'll write the
As-
select first?
First we write to MAKT table
Any particular reason why you want to write it to that table first?
because we want to we have the material number, and first of all we want to get MAKTX.
So my requirement is for a given material number, you need to print the plant information in the output. While you're doing that, print the description of every material that you print, and also print the description of every plant that you print. But the main data that I'm looking at is the plant information for a material.
Okay, then because now first two tables, that is MAKT and MARC, both have material number, we can kind of write a join on this table. I mean, we can select both the fields from both of the tables using MATNR. But as for that, you've not explained that join kind of query in the last class.
Yeah, forget about joins. Without joins, how do I do this? With the
Then we write select different selects. First select what is the field for what is that MAKTX? I don't know what is
this
that.
material description.
Okay, so first we select from MAKT table.
Select what from MAKT?
Select select MAKTX and MATNR we already have, but okay, yeah, we need it, comma MAKTX.
So the order of the fields in the table is MATNR, SPRAS and MAKTX, right? And the order in which I've maintained my fields in the structure is also same. So the order in which you maintain your fields in the structure should be same as the order in your database table. So when you write a select, you also need to select the data in the same order, select the fields in the same order. Otherwise, the system will simply keep the first field into the first field of your structure. So if I say select MAKTX as the first field, then the value of this MAKTX will go into the MATNAR field of my structure, because the system will simply fetch the first field into the first field. So we'll write it MATNR SPRAS MAKTX from
Would it
MAKT.
match the type while putting into the...
If you say into corresponding fields, then it will try to match. But if you simply say into your structure, it will simply map the first field to first field, second field to second field. And using this into corresponding addition to your select statement, you're making the system to do something extra, right? So from a performance point of view, it's not good. So we don't use into corresponding. Instead, simply maintain the fields in the same order as your database table, and then select the fields in the same order.
Okay. But if we have to select lots of fields, then can we use into corresponding? Let's say we are selecting star.
You can use into corresponding, but as I said, when you say star, then your field should be, your structure should have all the fields of the table. Only then you'll be able to use star. Otherwise, the length would be different. For example, if I've just defined 3 fields in my structure, and if I try to use star, I'm trying to select 5 fields from this MAKT, right? This table has 5 fields. I'm selecting 5 fields, but the work area into which I'm asking the system to get the data has only 3 fields. So there's a difference in length. So it will give a syntax error in that case.
Yeah, so that is why I'm asking. Then if we are using star, then move into corresponding.
Into corresponding works only if the order is different, but the number of fields should be same.
Okay.
Okay. You can use select star provided your table also has all the fields, but the order in which you have the fields in your structure is different from the order in the database. So only that it will work into corresponding. Only then the corresponding addition will work. But if the number of fields are different, you have 5 fields in table and 2 fields in your structure, then it will give a syntax error.
Okay.
So select this from MAKT into MAKT, where MATNAR equals to PMATNAR. Anything else I need to use?
No.
Shall I say,
are we displaying
either I should say select single or select and select, because I'm fetching into a work area which can hold only one record. So what do you want me to do? You want me to use select single or select and select?
Select and select, and within select and select we will select other information as well.
Okay. What is the next thing I need to do?
Next is we need to get works from MARC table.
So select,
So we will say
what should I say? Select?
single.
Single, okay.
Yeah. Now this MATNR and comma works from...
No comma, only space. From
Yeah.
MARC into WA underscore MARC, where MATNAR equals to, I can compare the same PMATNAR.
Yeah.
Okay, then
again one more select.
same within select and select block.
Yes.
Okay, select single again. Works name one.
Yeah.
So what should I compare here? Where?
Where now the common field is works. So where works is equal to EQ, we selected into WA mark. So WA mark hyphen works.
So you think it's gonna work?
I think so.
So I need to print the material number first. So I'll print which, let's say MAKT, MATNAR.
Yeah.
Then I want to print the description. So I'll say WMAKT hyphen MAKTX. MAKTX and then WA Marcy works and WA T001W name one. So if I want to use this 100 as the material number as the test data, what it should print in the output ideally?
It should print
How many records it should print? For 100 material, this material belongs to,
one record.
this material belongs to 11 plants. There are 11 different plants. So I said my program
11.
main idea is to print the plant details. So we need to print all this 11 in the outputs, right? All this 1000, 1100, 2000. So let's see what your program does. What is doing? It's printing only one
displaying just
record.
one.
Why?
Yeah. Can we go back to the program? I want to see what we did. Okay. Select and select will loop through. Okay, we should loop
Actually,
through, right?
yeah, it's looping through basically. You don't go by this mark. It's this and select is for this select only. So shall we see this in debug mode for you to understand what mistake
Yes.
we are doing?
Yeah.
So I'll give this material number. So you're selecting from MAKT, right? So you're looping this MAKT table. So let me open this MAKT table. In MAKT table, for 100 material, so you're comparing this 100 material in MAKT table, and this table has only one record, right?
Okay, that's right.
So in the first loop, you're getting all the other info. You're getting the material number, the plant. So for that plant, you're getting the plant description, but it doesn't go to the second loop because there's only one record. So it
Right.
simply quits the loop.
Yeah.
So what do we do now?
Basically, first table is like a master table.
Okay.
Is it like a master table which has the master records and
Not master
the second
records,
table is-
but based on your requirement, you need to identify which is the major table which is giving you the information. Okay, which information is your major data that you want to print, and all the other tables will be secondary information. So in this case, the major data that we want to print is plant details. So while you are printing this plant details, the other details like the material description and the plant description are secondary. So for every material I will be printing in the output, I want to get its description. The same way for every plant that I'm printing in the output, I want to get its description. So here material description and plant descriptions are secondary information, right? But the major information is material and plant details.
Mhm.
So you need to loop the table which has the major data, which has more number of records, and then read the other tables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So what do you want me to do in this, or let me ask others if they are interested? Lakshmi?
Yeah, first I just want to know why you have not included splash in first select query as it was a primary key. Secondly,
We included splash, but
instead of
again,
loop,
you mean to
in
say
where
why
clause.
didn't I restrict? If the user
no,
says
in where
restrict,
clause, and yeah,
you can do that also.
okay. Now instead of looping through this first select first table, we can loop through the second table as it contains more than one records, and for each record we have to fetch the description of that plant.
So you mean to say just because MARC has more than one record, you need to loop MARC?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll give you one more test data. Instead of 100, let's say 100. Now this table has 13 records for 100 material.
But if I restrict it through spas, then
and this MARC for the same table has only 5 plant details. So it's not more which table has more records, it's about what is your major data that you're printing. So we are printing the plant information for a material. So
okay.
even if my MARC has 1 record and the other tables has 10 records, I would still loop MARC. It's not the number of records in the table, it's more about the major data that you are printing. So I want to print all the plant details for a given material. So that plant details are available in
Okay.
MARC table. So I always loop that table first. So
Okay. Then we can go with that for all entries.
no, we haven't discussed for all entries.
Okay.
So I'll say
So if we restrict that first record as a single record, like if we include spas also, and if we can confirm that only one single record would be fetched from the first table.
no, as I said, it's not about the number of records. It's all about what is your major data that you're printing. So in this requirement, I said for a given material, please print me the plant details. And these plant details are available in MARC. So I'll loop that. I'll process all the records from MARC. While I'm processing these records, I'll try to get the other information. So for every line that I'm printing in the output, in that line, if I'm printing a material number, I'm getting the description for that material from MAKT. And I'm also printing the plant number. So for every plant number that I'm printing in the output, I'm getting the plant description from T001W. So now if you see here in the first select, WA, MARC, works. So material number and works are the major information. So for every material that I'm printing, right now I'll be printing this 100 in the output. So for every material I'm printing, I'm getting its description from MAKT table. The same way for every plant number I'm printing, I'm getting its description from T001W. So I'm printing the whole line. So at this
But
point,
in second select query, you have written METNR is equal to P METNR. I think it should be
yeah,
WA
because in
per query.
ideally it should be WA, but in this case we are processing only single material. So this will always fetch you the same material, right? If you are comparing P Matnar here, so you'll get the same materials. So, but ideally, as I said, you can also compare this.
Then I think then end select and select, it should not be there if you are using the P matnar in that where clause, because it will ultimately loop once.
Yes. You can basically write this select outside the loop also if you are using P Matnar, because you are only processing. But if I
Correct.
use select options and give a range of materials, then this is how it should be.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. So anyone here who didn't understand what I tried to do? This part is very important for you to understand how to relate different tables and which table to loop, which table to read, which is your major table. So once you understand this part, everything else becomes very easy for you to follow. So that's why I really want to take some time in going through these basics. Ravi, you have a question? Ravi? Can't hear you. Please type your question. So everyone is clear? Shruti?
Can you please repeat it?
Shruti, your voice is very faint. Shruti, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yeah.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Can you please repeat it?
Repeat what?
repeat, how did you choose the table?
When you get a requirement, if the functional consultant is telling you that this is the report we want, or this should be the output, this should be the input selection criteria, then the functional consultant, it's the functional consultant's responsibility to tell you in which tables you'll get which data. Okay, so in this case, he's telling us that I want you to print the plan details for a given material, and these are the tables you can get the information. So from MATNAR MAKT table you can get the material and material description. From MARC table you can get material and the plan numbers, and from T001W you can get the plan for the plan number you can get its description. Right? So these are the tables in which you have the data that you want to print. What we are trying to do is we are simply clubbing that data and showing a single line output. Okay. So first I'm writing a select to MARC because that's the major data that I want to print. While I'm printing this data from MARC, I'm writing a select to MAKT to get its description for the material that I'm printing, and I'm writing a select to T001W to get the description for the plant I'm printing in the output. Then I'm saying print all these details. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
So I don't think we have time for discussing internal tables. We'll see it fresh tomorrow. That's very important. I'm really sorry for wasting time today, but I don't know. Sometimes it happens. Let me take this question. How the print does how to send end select? It just I have select and I have one end select. If I have one more end select here, so it simply branches. For example, if I don't have select single for this, then this is the end select for this, and this is the end select for this. So the system understands that way. But here we have only select and select. Others are select single. So any questions on this part? Anyone? If you don't put end select here, it will give a syntax error. Because when you select the data into your work area, you should either use select single or select and select. So everyone is clear? Ravi, please type the whole question in one go so that I can understand what you're trying to say. Okay. So just to enhance your billing document assignment, those who haven't tried it, please try that before I discuss internal tables tomorrow. To enhance this VBRP assignment, so right now you are printing me the item details, right, of the document. What I want you to do is, if I go to VF03, there is some header information also, right? The document number, there's something called payer details. It's R111 is the payer, and there's the billing date, right? So what I want you to do is with this program, before you print the item details, on the top, print some header information like print billing document number, print the document number. Then payer, it is giving you the payer number, but again you don't understand who the payer is, right? You don't know the name of the person and all. So if you go to this KNA1 table, customer master table, where we store all the customer information. If it is a customer, then we can get this payer details, customer details from KNA1. If it is a vendor, you can get the vendor details from LFA1. So in this KNA1 table, if I give this payer KUNNR, then it gives me the name, address, everything in this table. So simply print the name. So name one field will give you the name of the payer. So what I want you to do with this program is, before you print this item details, print the billing document number, the payer name, and then the billing date, document date, the billing date. Okay, so these are header information. This information you can get from VBRK table. VBRP is your item table and VBRK is the header table for the billing document. So if I open this VBRK table and give this document number, okay, so here I can get the billing document date, I can get the document number, billing document date, and the payer. There's a field called KUNAG. Here if you see KUNAG, this is the payer. So this will give you the payer number. With this information, query this KNA1 table to get the name one for that payer. Okay, and then print that name there. And at the end, below this net value, below this at the end, you simply print one underline and say total and print the total of all this amount. Simply calculate the total, add up the details and print it at the end. Prashant?
Hey, Kiran, I'm not sure. Maybe it's your computer or something. When you're changing the screens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing some screens, and it's I don't know. I don't know if everybody is facing the same issue.
What do you mean by missing? The screen doesn't show up?
You know, you're trying to. Yeah, let's say you're trying to open a new screen with a VBRK table, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to SC11 or somewhere and going to VBRK and going into the details, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm missing those two screens and directly seeing the VBRK details. So
okay.
Is it maybe it's something to do with
maybe there's a lag actually.
Yeah, because I wasn't experiencing this in the past session. So
as I said, I'm using this Windows 8 PC now. So maybe this software is not actually for this system. So bear with me for today. I'll try to fix my problem with the other system. So tomorrow it should be fine.
Okay. No worries. Thanks.
And since you asked me to minimize this window, I won't be knowing whether you're able to see my screen. So otherwise I take time. Only when this confirms that everyone is able to see my screen, I change the screen. So right now I'm not doing it. Vijita?
Yeah, Kiran, my question is, like when you're working on the real projects and working on a requirement, there would be a lot of tables which belong to one sort, some functional module which we would be coding in the backend. So are we supposed to know all these tables, and or how do we start working on it? Because now like you're telling all these tables, but
yeah, I said when the functional consultant is giving you a requirement, you can always ask him which table you will get the data. Okay. If the functional consultant is experienced enough, he'll tell you. And there are few basic tables you should know. What is the material master tables, customer master, vendor master, billing document like VBRK, VBRP, where you find your purchase order details. So these basic tables you should know as an ABAP consultant, which I'll be right now. You know few tables, right? I won't be directly telling you that this is a table you don't need to memorize, but through these requirements, we'll be using those tables which you should be knowing, like the billing document related tables, VBRP, VBRK, this plant information, MARC, right? So, and other than that, if we ask you to show you some data and if you don't know the table name in which you can select the data, you can always ask him, the functional guy, to tell you which table you'll find the data. So if he's experienced enough, he'll tell you the table where this data is stored, or else if he's not able to tell you the table, at least ask him for a transaction which is showing that information. Okay. For example, he says you have to print the billing document details, and if he's not able to tell you the table in which you can find this billing document information, but he can tell you that we use this VF03 transaction to see the billing document details, right? So it should either tell you the table name or the transaction where he's seeing this information. So if you have the transaction, then simply go to the transaction, use F1 to find out the table names.
Yeah, that is right. But let's say from the interview perspective, do they expect us to know all
from an interview point of view, as I said, the major tables, the basic tables you should know. If there's a post in my website where I've listed all the important tables in SAP module wise, so you can quickly go through those list and try to understand. But in interview, basically they'll expect you to know a table only if you say you worked on a program which involved selecting data from those tables. For example, if I say I created a report to show plant details for a material, then the interviewer would expect that you know which table you'll get the plant details, right? So mostly if you know the basic tables, that's sufficient. You don't need to know every table because there are thousands of tables.
Okay.
So even if I have worked on a report where I've selected, I've showed some finance stuff in the output, and let's say I've developed this report 2 years back, and when I go to the interview, if he asks me which table you are selecting, you don't need to know. If it is a major table, then you should know. But if it's some table which you used once, you don't need to know the table name. You can always say that you don't remember. Well, the whole idea is how to find out something, not about how much you remember. It's all about, if you don't know the table from which you have to select the data, how do you find out which table you need to select the data? So if you know that, that's sufficient.
Okay.
So because it's really impossible for anyone to remember all these tables, and all you need to remember is the major transactions and major tables. Okay.
Right.
And the best way to remember them is that not by memorizing, but by working on this requirement. So when you develop your programs using those tables, you automatically remember those table names.
Okay. And where did you mention the web page where you at least listed some important tables?
There should be one article. Karnakar?
Yeah, a small question about that assignment. So there is one, is there anything like a syntax error and syntax warning kind of stuff?
When it gives a syntax,
the reason is
when you do a syntax check, it can give you errors, warnings, information.
Okay, my question is there is one question as data, date in brackets 8 type D. So usually in type D we don't need to specify the
length,
right? Length, right?
But you
so
can.
This case it gives.
It's a fixed.
If I read them.
If it's a fixed length, but it can be 8. So if you specify 8, you're not breaking any rule. So either you specify length as 8 or no length specification. If you do a syntax check, that's what the syntax checker will.
But still it gives what actually when I do the syntax check with this statement like data date 8, and it says of course it's not a warning, but I think it's giving of course it is not error, but it is giving syntax warning stuff, I think.
So if you say data,
if I put data date 8 type D,
date
8 type D, checks actually.
So it's just a warning.
Oh,
Okay.
this will not consider as syntax error, right?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Because I can still run my program with this
Yeah. Okay.
warning. It won't stop me from executing my program. But if you have a syntax error, you can't execute your programs.
Yeah, it stops it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
So where were we? Yeah. Vijita. So these are the tables you can see. So countries you can find in this table, currencies, unit of measure, calendars. Again, as I said, you can't just memorize everything. So the best way to remember these tables is by using those tables in your programs. But you can always refer. When I give you a requirement and you don't know the tables, you can refer to this article so that you can at least go through. Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes these transactions also won't be referring to the tables directly, they'll be referring to structures. So I'll talk about it later, when we see structures and all these things. I'll also tell you other ways of looking for related tables. Okay. But for the time being, just concentrate on making your programs work. I'll be telling you all the tables that you need to select the data from. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
everyone, please practice this. If you can't work on the billing document assignment, at least repeat this code. That makes a lot of difference. Just looking at the screen and understanding what I'm typing and you typing it actually makes a lot of difference. So just if you don't have time to work on that assignment, if you haven't tried that assignment which I gave you last week, at least repeat this code. Try to understand every single line I'm writing in this code, so that you feel more comfortable when I discuss internal tables tomorrow. Otherwise, you may struggle a bit. Okay? So any questions, anyone? No? Zahid?
Yeah, how to define the headings, header? I missed the header in my previous assignments.
Simply write it separately.
Header as a string?
No. Before you print your line item details, you print your header.
Okay.
I'll show you. So here, first write the header, use write statement, print your headers. So here he is using
Right
constants.
statement. Okay.
Constants, and Karan, if you are using constants, name them C underscore so that I know it's a constant. So print your headers first and then your item details.
Item detail.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
And by using these position numbers, you are maintaining same distance.
Column length. Okay.
Okay. And here you are 116. Karan, you can actually use left justified. You can maintain the same positions for both header and item and use left justified addition, so it aligns them properly instead of using different values, because sometimes it won't work. Right now you are ignoring the leading spaces, you are just adjusting manually with the position numbers, but you can actually ignore that leading spaces while printing by using this left justified. So simply print left justified for everything and maintain the same position for your header and item. Okay. Fine then, I'm stopping the record.